The following is a presentation of SC State Athletics.
You are watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Our sponsors are Prisma Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the County of Orangeburg, working hard for you. Farm Bureau Insurance. Get a quote at farmbureaupromise.com. Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders. And by the Department of Health and Environmental Control. Healthy people living in healthy communities. And now, here's our host, the voice of the South Carolina State Bulldogs, Ernest Robinson.
After 5 years of trying, the South Carolina State Bulldogs are finally in the Cricket Celebration Bowl to take on Jackson State. That's a game that features the champions of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, South Carolina State, and the champions of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Jackson State. The Tigers are coached by NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, who's brought a much-needed spotlight on HBCU football, and with it, an opportunity of a lifetime for Coach Buddy Pough and the South Carolina State Bulldogs to get a win on national television. All right, Coach, Jackson State, the Celebration Bowl. First off, let's talk about the Celebration Bowl. Finally, we got here after 6 years, the Bulldogs in the Celebration Bowl.
We're as excited as we can be, and it's been a fun trip. Now, we got to get it done with the actual going out and playing good. So I'm looking forward to seeing just how well our guys can play today.
Talk about our team. We had some injuries going in. What did the time off give you an opportunity to do?
Well, we got most of the guys well who could get well. Now, we had a couple guys, Jacory Benson, guys like that who are, out because they had surgeries, but at the same time, most everybody else is back full speed. Now, we lost another couple guys due to some other problems that we had, things like some academic stuff and some of those kinds of things. And, I don't necessarily want to just call those names right now, but I can tell you that we are close to full speed and about as healthy as we can be given our circumstances. When
you look at Jackson State, I'm going to talk about the offense, and we'll talk a little about their defense. It's really good. They're especially good up front.
They don't give you a lot of time to get the football off. And if you're going to throw the football a bunch, then they really load it up and get after it. The secondary really seems to have some holes in it, but if you don't have time to throw it, and that's what they use against you, they get such a good rush, 41 and 54, all those guys, are such good football players until, they can beat you up in the pass rush game. So you got to figure how to make a double move or two on them, but sometimes you don't have time. So, we're looking forward to trying to see, if we can actually hold up on the front of the offensive line. That might be the most important part of the whole thing, whether it be run or pass.
You start looking at them on offense, Coach. They ran it a lot against Prairie View. Peyton Pickett went for 107 yards, which is a little bit surprising given the fact they don't look like they run the football a lot, but they throw it an awful lot.
Yeah, they do, and their run game is mostly built around guys just kind of finding it sometimes. They hadn't really done a great job of designing runs, so they're mostly a throw-it team, and the quarterback kid, Deion's son, is a real talent, so he can hurt you some, and they've got some real special kinds of wide receiver kind of guys. So those guys are the same guys that hurt you in the kicking game. They return punts and kicks, and you can better bet that you got to make sure you know where those guys are pretty much all the time.
You start talking about the kicking game. They have one of the best kick returners in the country, but on the other side of the kicking game, they don't punt it, they don't kick it well.
Well, they don't have to. What they've done is they've gone for it some, but the main thing they've done is they've been a good football team about just kind of handling their business on offense. So, anytime you keep the football away from people, that's one of the benefits. You got a chance to keep the ball alive.
All right, Coach, what's going to be the key to get us getting the win?
We've got to be able to run. We got to be able to handle that defensive front. Our offensive line's got to match up good against that defensive front. And then at that point, then we need Corey Fields to have a good day.
All right, Coach. Best of luck this afternoon.
Thanks a bunch, Ernest.
Gavin Zimmerman approaches. It's a high end-over-end kick. It's going to be short field by Ayla Brown at the 18-yard line. He's at the 20, at the 25. Brown wrapped up, driven down at about the 30-yard line. Two receivers right, one left. Shotgun snap, Sanders looking left, looking left, looking left, still looking left. Plenty of time in the pocket. Sanders all day back there. Now throws it short. It is caught over there by Ritchie. Ritchie makes a move at the 40 in the Bulldog territory. Knocked out at the 31-yard line. But Sanders had all day to throw that football. Back to pass Sanders. Sanders pump fake. Throwing that got a man out there wide open. With the catch up at about the 10-yard line. Shotgun snap Sanders. Sanders quick throw out in the flat. It is caught. Touchdown Jackson State. So with 7:24 to go here in the first quarter, Jackson State on the board, 7 for the Tigers, nothing for South Carolina State. Shotgun snap. Corey gives it to Kendrell again. Kendrell cuts it left, cuts it back right. Kendrell on his feet. Kendrell at the 35. Kendrell up at the 40-yard line. It's a South Carolina State first down, the first of the game. Shotgun snap. Corey back to pass. Got time. Corey steps up in the pocket. He's got time. Throws it out there. It is picked off. Jackson State at the 30. At the 35, that's Shallow Sanders up at the 37-yard line. Shotgun snap. Corey back to pass. Got a chance here. Rolling to his left. Rolling. Throws it out there. It's caught. He's got one. Shaq up at about the 35-yard line of South Carolina State. Good snap. Dyson keeps it. Well, ran a good ways and then punted him. My goodness, what a punt. Dyson Roberts punts it all the way to the other end. It goes down. Oh, and it rolls into the end zone.
Oh, my goodness.
Sanders back to pass. Sanders in trouble. Sanders going to be wrapped up and brought down. Fumble the football. It's recovered by South Carolina State at the 2-yard line. Corey back to pass. Corey throws a slant. It's caught. Touchdown. South Carolina State.
How about
Shaq
that?
Davis went to catch into the end zone.
How about that? Bulldogs capitalize on the turnover.
So we are tied with 2:06 remaining here in the first half. Our score, South Carolina State 7, Jackson State 7, and we got a new ball game. Snap back to Corey, back to pass. Corey, plenty of time. Throws it out short. Got a man out there caught. That is
Kendrell?
That's Kendrell Flowers.
Out of the
down to the
backfield.
23-yard line in field goal range. Shotgun snap, play action fake. Corey rolling to the right. Corey got a man open in the end zone, doesn't see him. Throws it, is complete. Kendrell, first down, out of bounds at about the 10-yard line of Jackson State. Good snap. Dyson gets it down. Davin's toe is in it. It is up, and it is good.
Bulldogs
so
take the
Davin
lead.
Zimmerman with the field goal. So it's 10 for South Carolina State, 7 for Jackson State. It's halftime at the Cricket Celebration Bowl at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Our score, South Carolina State 10, Jackson State 7. Our coach, congratulations on the win over Jackson State. Overwhelming win before one of the largest crowds ever at the Celebration Bowl. Completes a big week for South Carolina State. The president on Friday, a big win on Saturday here in Atlanta.
Yeah, and thank you, Ernest. It was a great win for us. I need to first start off by thanking all of the operation and the administration of the Celebration Bowl, because they did a wonderful job of entertaining us for this past 3 or 4 days while we were here. And I think it's something that we could put together that can be a special kind of event for our conference, the MEAC and the SWAC, for a long time. So it went really, really well. And to win the game on top of that was even a bigger, star in our crown. So, it was a fun afternoon, and I'm looking forward to, to getting back home and seeing it all on film.
It's kind of silly for me to say, Coach, but to win the opening toss was a good sign for South Carolina State. But then Jackson State, after 2 empty possessions, go down, and they score in the second possession.
It did, and you're exactly right. Congressman Clapham flipped the coin. I told him before he went out there that I needed to be tails. He got it done for us. So then we got,
there you go, Jim.
We went on from there to go get behind 7-0. But you know what? I talked to a good many folk during the week. I said, you know what? This team has been so resilient. I had worry at all about the fact that we were behind. So, we were 1-4. At some point, it took us a while to get back to even. Our guys never blinked. So it was one of those same kind of situations. I had confidence that we would come back and at least get in the game. So eventually we got a break or two. Our defense got the ball down close to their goal line and got it, and our offense got it into the end zone. It was a special, kind of effort for our entire team. And I'm going to tell you, it was a lot of fun.
You start talking about getting it down. It was a strip sack by B.J. Davis, who I think came up with it down there. Right? And that set things up because we were struggling offensively at that point.
Oh, we hadn't gotten a thing done offensively. We had just gotten maybe a first down or two, and, we got a chance to, get a big play out of our punter. Dyson Roberts made a fantastic play to punt the ball from maybe about our 25-yard line, somewhere in that neck of the woods, all the way to in their end zone. And it almost died at about the 1, but it did eventually roll in. And then, we got a sack, a play or two later, and our offense finally got the football and got it into the end zone. But up to that point, we really hadn't done anything. So that was kind of the turning point of the entire game, I think.
And then, of course, South Carolina State comes back. The defense gets you an interception, sets you up for another score. You didn't get the touchdown, but you did have Gavin come in and kick the field goal.
Right at the end of the first half, we got a chance to get it down and get a score. We lost our holder, I guess, right after the end of the season. And we had to move Dyson. Today was the first time that Dyson Robert had ever held in a football game in his life, if you can believe that. But, it's a natural that those guys kind of work together. So they had a chance to, really develop a working relationship that way. So those guys practice during the time that we off. And, they got in there. Gavin made, all of his kicks. So it was really, a lot of fun to see him make that score.
That was the way it ended the first half. South Carolina State leading Jackson State by a score of 10-7. We'll come back with more of the Buddy Pough Show right after this timeout. Welcome back to this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. It is time for the Prisma Health Injury Report for the Celebration Bowl. And, Coach, you had a couple significant injuries that really impacted the game, changed your approach.
It really did. We got a Bermuda Triangle of the worst possible events going on at the running back position. We were down. First of all, we had already lost 2 or 3 guys. And then we get into the game. We only got like 2 experienced guys, Kendrell Flowers and Dante Anthony. Kendrell gets a concussion, I guess maybe right at the end of the half. They come out after the half and say, hey, Kendrell Flowers is out right before we kick off. I say, what? So at that point, then I'm trying to figure out, what our next move is. We then get into the game. Dante gets dinged up a couple times, and Ty Walker, who almost hadn't played at all, was on the field all of a sudden. So, it was a little bit of a scary situation at running back. But now, as far as the rest of our team was concerned, we stayed pretty healthy for the rest of the game. So it worked out because our guys were able to kind of pass through and make it work.
All right, that is the Prisma Health Injury Report for the Celebration Bowl. We'll take another time out. Come back with more on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. Raven approaches, and here we go. Left-footed kicker is up. It's a good deep kick. Juwan Mood is going to let it go into the end zone. Good snap. Dyson fields it. Dyson gets off the punt, and it hits down, takes a bulldog roll, and it takes a Dyson Roberts roll. Back at the 14, that? 13, 12, 11. Down at the 11-yard line, Dyson Roberts with another monster punt. Bulldogs showing blitz. Sanders back to pass. Sanders throws it out there. It is caught. Incomplete. Intercepted by South Carolina State at the 15-yard line. Shotgun snap. Corey throws it up for Shaq Davis. Touchdown! South Carolina State. Shaquan Davis from 16 yards out.
How
and the
about
Bulldogs
that?
extend their lead. So, with 12 minutes and 36 seconds to go here in the third quarter, it's South Carolina State 17, Jackson State 7. Sanders back to pass. Sanders looking long, throws it out. Intercepted by South Carolina State with the football at the 19-yard line. Walker goes in motion. And tackle back at the 32-yard line. Here we go on 4th and 19. We're going for it. Shotgun snap. Corey back to pass. Steps up, throws it out there. It's caught! Wolverine! First down, South Carolina State at the 8-yard line. Oh, my goodness. Back to pass Corey. Pressure coming, got to let it go. Throws it out there. Caught! Touchdown! Richard Bailey. South Carolina State from 16 yards out. So, with 8:43 to go in this third quarter, it is South Carolina State 24, Jackson State 7. Sanders, they give it to Marshall. Marshall trying to get outside, wrapped up, slung down, back to the 32-yard line. Sanders back to pass. Blitz coming from the other side. Sanders is hit by Jacoby Durant with the sack. Back at the 18-yard line. Jacoby Durant on the corner blitz. Toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. So Bailey Rayborn knocks it down from 35 yards out with 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Our score, South Carolina State 24, Jackson State 10 from our own 9-yard line. Draw play. Dante Anthony going to get the first down and more at the 20, at the 25, at the 30. at the 34-yard line. What a play. Quick hitter up the middle. Did not see that coming. Shotgun snap, Corey back to pass. Corey looking, pressure coming, Corey looking. Corey throwing long, got a man out there. Shaq Davis catches it at the 25-yard line of Jackson State. First down. Play action fake, Corey going long, dialing it up long. It is caught. Touchdown, South Carolina State. Shaq Davis pulls it down in the end zone. And just like that, it's 31 for South Carolina State, 10 for Jackson State. Empty backfield. Sanders back to pass. Sanders in trouble. Hello, go down at the 10-yard line. The sack, South Carolina State. Shaheem Halterwanger takes him down. The Bulldogs win it 31-10 over Jackson State. Our wrap-up of today's ball game will continue in just a few moments. All right, Coach, just what we wanted. We got possession to begin the second half. Didn't do anything with it.
Not a thing. And that's unusual, but we punted the ball to them. Dyson Robert had another one of those great punts. Got it down close to that goal line, somewhere in that neck of the woods. And the next thing you know, our defense had turned them over again. And we turned them over 2 or 3 times right in that spot, which really turned the whole football game around because we were able to punch those scores in. Finally, Corey Field started to connect with Shaq, and we had a great fourth down completion to Wolverine. And, it was a back.
Not a great fourth down. It was 4th and doggone 19, and I say to Bill Hamilton, we're going for it. Buddy's going for it on 4th and 19, and we get 20 yards. I would have asked you in the press conference, but I didn't ask you, what was the thought process? I guess you felt it was too long for Gavin, but 4th and 19, you dial up your 4th and 20 play.
Going back and forth, I stood there. That's why we ended up having to call a timeout, because I stood there kind of saying, what in the world do I do here? Because it was too long to go for it. It was too far for him to kick. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out exactly what can I do there. I didn't want to punt. I was getting ready to punt. So then at that point I said, you know what, let's go for it. So we had called timeout. That kind of gave me a chance to kind of gather myself a little bit. And Coach Bennett Swigert had a call, which was really what convinced me. He said, we can run the vertical route outside and throw the back shoulder to Wolverine. I said, that sounds pretty good. I think I like that. So we went on and did it at that point. So it was kind of him convincing me that he had a play that was long enough, which really made the whole thing come together.
And that turned out to be, Coach, one of the biggest biggest plays of the game.
I guarantee it, because from that point, then we come back, because we lost another 4 or 5 yards on the first, but we hit the little corner ball to
Richard Bailey.
Richard Bailey, from that point. So we were able to get that in the end zone. I'm going to tell you, that really set them on their heels.
You know, Coach, when you start talking about this, at this point of the football game, you could see the wind go out of the sails.
Oh, I guarantee
you. Couldn't see my angle, but I could see up in the corner people leaving the game. That pretty much Jackson State kind of folded the tents at that point.
Is that right? Well, you could tell that they hadn't had very much experience with being behind this year. They had such a good year. And, when you're riding high, it's kind of easy, to stay that way. But now when you get behind, it's tough. And, it was one of those kind of deals where, you found out just how fair weather some of your friends can be.
And that was the way it ended on Saturday. South Carolina State winning the 2021 Cricket Celebration Bowl by a score of 31-10. We'll come back, wrap up the season, and wrap up the final edition of the Buddy Pough Show right after this timeout.
What did you share with your team? Because coming in, many may have counted you out, outside of the folks in Orangeburg and your South Carolina State fans. But what did you say to your group who came out of the MEAC as champions?
This team was 1-4, Tiffany. We were so low we couldn't figure out whether we could win a game or not. But these guys never quit. So I knew that getting behind, I think I told the young guy before we came, didn't faze us one bit. It's just kind of how we were. So it's just one of those things where this team seems to be, very, very resilient. And anytime there's some adversity, it seemed to come to the forefront. It's been a wonderful afternoon. And, I want to say, this is for you, South Carolina State fans, all you guys up there, this is yours.
All right, Coach Q, you wrap it up with the big win. Some final thoughts on the win over Jackson State.
it ended up being a wonderful season that way. We really didn't have that good a regular season. We were 6-5 coming into this thing, and we just barely got over the hump. We were going to Norfolk thinking, you know what, if we don't win against Norfolk, we could go in that Celebration Bowl with a losing record. So for us to come here and win the game, end up 7-5, is a tremendous leap from where we were just, a couple weeks back. So, it ended up being a good season for us. And I can tell you that I really got to take my hat off to our entire coaching staff, because we got to sign up on the interstate. We will play anybody. Well, we started off at Alabama A&M and did play Clemson and New Mexico State and all those kind of people. Well, it hardened us in a way where in situations like this, we were able to actually stand the test that way. So it ended up working out really good for us. And although we only won 7 games, it was 7 hard-nosed, tough football games. And I can tell you what, that was a great year that year. So thank you, guys. Thank you, South Carolina State. Thank you, our team, coaching staff, everybody. I thought it was a wonderful year that way.
Corporately, we want to thank the sponsors, especially those on the Buddy Pough Show, and of course the radio network coach. Tamar Marketing came in and did a heck of a job this year. One of the best years we've ever had.
Arnold Malloy has done a fantastic job, and we're looking forward to working with him for many more years. Yeah.
All right, Coach, that's going to be the final word here on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. Coach, thanks again. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to the offseason. Christmas time is here.
I tell you what, it is Christmas for South Carolina State. Folks, we want to thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting South Carolina State football. For head coach Buddy Pough, I'm Ernest Robinson. As we say so long, the Bulldogs, the 2021 Cricket Celebration Bowl HBCU National Champions. Have a great year, everybody.
Thank you for watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of the South Carolina State Bulldogs. The show has been brought to you by Prisma Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the County of Orangeburg, Farm Bureau Insurance, Founders Federal Credit Union, and by the Department of Health and Environmental Control. Join us next week for highlights of South Carolina State football on the Buddy Pough Show.